everybody, it's Wendy, and today we are going to make the mate to this little wire wrapped earring. I am using products from the Bargain Bead Box February 2021 edition. It is called Spring Rain, and everything I'm using today is not from the Bargain Bead Box. I pulled quite a bit from my own stash. But I wanted to use these pointed pieces, and I want to make a pair of earrings and a matching pendant. So we're going to do the other earring to this today, and it is really cute. I love this. Whoops, I think it turned out really good. That would be so nice if that would hang there. That would have just been like perfect for my little video, but it's not. But Bargain Bead Box is a monthly beading subscription service where you get between $65 and $75 worth of beading supplies. A bunch of really cool stuff like gemstone pieces like this one right here. We got a whole bunch of these. We actually got 5 of them this time, and just beautiful. But there's all kinds of great stuff in there. You can check out my unboxings if you'd like. I have done unboxings for Bargain Bead Box now for 3 years, I'd say. So I have a whole playlist of them if you would like to see what's available with Bargain Bead Box. And if you want to subscribe, I will put a link in the description box below. And if you use coupon code Wendy2, you will get $2 off of your first month's subscription box. If you don't want to subscribe and you just want to shop in their sister store, they do have a store. And you use coupon Wendy2, it will get you $2 off of your purchase in their store. Now, if you do subscribe to their box, you get a 30% off coupon to use all month long in their store, and you can use that over and over as many times as you want. So it really is a great deal. It's $17.95 a month. It ships straight to your door. Like I said, it's a great beading subscription service, and you get the 30% off coupon to use in their store. So if you're interested in any of that, I will put links in the description box below. You can watch my unboxings if you'd like to see more of what comes monthly with the Bargain Bead Box. So let's get on with this. So if you want to make this the other half, or a pair, I guess, of these earrings on your own, you are going to need you're going to obviously need double what I've got here, but you're going to need 2 of the crackle agate pendant pieces that they gave, and this one is the one I'm going to use for the pendant. Mine were kind of weird, like if you can see, they're beautiful. Every last one of them was beautiful, and I am going to make sure that these are crackle agate. I believe they are. Yeah. Are they crackle agate? I think they have to be. But I don't even see them on my list. I know they're on here somewhere, but anyway, I'm pretty sure they're crackle agate. But mine are kind of cool because this one is very, very densely colored. If you can see, this one has some really cool, like, I don't know, just really cool striations in it, I guess you would say. And these 3 were the closest. So that's what I pulled out for this set, the earrings and pendant pieces, and I'll use these for something else. Okay, so grab your little pieces that you want to use in your earrings, and then you're going to need some small beads. So I am using these little fire polish rounds. These are 4mm. These little tiny beads right here are the apatite beads that came in the Bargain Bead Box this month. So I'm using the apatite beads and these dagger pendant pieces from the box. The other stuff is from my own stash. And so then I've got some little tiny spacer beads. Now these are 2mm spacer beads, and they're available on my website if you're interested in them. They are very tiny. I have 2 large jump rings. I believe these are 10mm. And then I have a smaller jump ring, which is a 6mm. These may be 12mm, but they're larger jump rings. And then I have a fish hook ear wire. And then I have some wire. So this is a 22 gauge, just silver wire. And then I've got a really thin, I believe this is like 28 gauge or maybe even 32. I don't know. It's a very, very thin wire. And I have quite a long piece of this, probably 1.5 feet of the thin wire, and about, I don't know, not quite a 6-inch piece of the thicker wire. Okay, and I do want to give credit to Yvonne Williams. I watched her do this technique for an alternate wrapping to a briolet. So I didn't want to do the traditional wire wrap briolet, and I watched her do this alternate the technique, and I really really like that for this specific piece right here, mainly because it has a flat top. Um, but yeah, so Yvonne Williams does this, and I guess she invented it. I don't know, but she is very very creative. Okay. So what we're going to do, get all your stuff together. Of course, you're going to need all your pliers, your round nose pliers, your chain nose pliers, and your cutters. Okay, so get all your stuff together and we will get started to make this. All right, so the first thing we're going to do is we're just going to take our round nose plier and we're going to take our wire, and I'm coming about halfway up on the plier. If you can see here, I want it to be a little bit of a larger loop, but not huge. Okay, so I don't know, about, yeah, halfway up on the plier. And then I'm just going to make a coil. So I'm going around, but I'm going around twice. 2 full rotations around. So it makes just a little coil like that. Okay, and then I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to insert my piece on here. Now, I cut way too much wire, so I'm not really proficient at wire wrapping. Clearly, I'm not the best at it, but so I don't really know. I'm not very good at judging the amounts of wire that I need for things. So, you know, you can probably be a better judge than me of the amounts of wire. Now, see, this definitely, I did not need this much wire, so let me cut a little bit more off. Alright, now this hopefully will be a little bit better. I'm just not a good judge of that yet. I haven't worked with wire enough to really know that yet. So one day, hopefully I will. Okay, so we have our 2 little wraps. Now what I am going to do is I'm going to take my pliers and I'm going to turn them to where they're both the same direction, because I've got one going up and one going down, and I don't want that. So if you take your plier, you can just twist and you can put them both going the same direction. That's what I want. I want them both going up. And she described them as looking like little ram's horns, and they kind of do. They're kind of cute here. So both of mine are now facing up, and I'm just straightening them up a little bit. I messed that one up, so I'm rolling it back in a little tighter. Okay, just like that. And there you have it. Now mine are not perfect. You guys are probably better. I'm just not really good with wire, but I thought this would be really cool use for these pieces. So I am going to take my chain nose plier here, and I'm just going to tuck this little piece in that looks like it's kind of scraggling out, because I don't want this to be scratchy for anybody. Let's see here. And you can just take your chain nose plier and just kind of tuck it. And then if your loop is goofy like mine is, just take your round nose pliers and stick it back in there, and it'll help round it back out a little bit. Okay, so here we have it. We've got our little pieces. They are looped in on both sides. Like she said, they look like little ram's horns. Okay, so now that I've got that done, I'm going to take my little thin wire. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to just wrap it around this piece right here, one of the little ram's horn loops. It doesn't matter which one you do, just you want to wrap it around 3 or 4 times, and all this is doing is securing it to the piece. Okay, and then you can take your cutters and you can cut this little excess off here that's sticking out. There we go. If I can get it, goodness. And I'll tuck that in here in a minute. Okay, so now we have our thin wire secured onto our piece. Now, if you look at this one, now these are not going to be the same. There's really no way to get them exactly the same. I'm just going to do it randomly, and they'll match close enough because they kind of have, you know, the messy, eclectic look to them. So what I'm going to do is just pick up a couple of beads. So I'm going to take one of the fire polish beads. Now these little apatite beads are like nearly impossible to see. I had a terrible time even picking them up for that piece right there because they're so tiny. They're beautiful, but they are tiny little things, so it's hard to find the holes. There we go. So I'm just going to put on a couple of beads, drop them down to the bottom of my piece here, and I'm going to kind of hold them with my thumbnail, and I'm just going to wrap around just like that. Okay, then you can go up and around the other side of your little ram's horn if you want to. You can do this however you want. You do not have to do it just like I am. This is just, you know, my technique, the way that I did it. And like I said, Yvonne Williams is the originator of the little alternate bail, so you can check her out. She's really amazing with wire. She's amazing with everything she does, but she's really amazing with wire. So I'm going to put 3 beads on this time, 1 of each. Okay, just like that. I'm going to let them fall, just like that. And then I'm just going to wrap around again. Now, I like to kind of go back through one of the beads that I just, like, see how I went around, and I'm going to go back up through this fire polish bead. Try not to kink your wire like that. Don't kink it. Okay, and then just pull it tight. And then I'm just going to go up and around. Let's see, and back down like this. I'm not following any pattern. I'm not, you know, doing anything the same as the other one. It's just a messy kind of beaded, boho, whatever look. So I'm just going to go underneath my wire here and back down so that I can add some more beads on. Okay, so there it is. Now, let's see here. I think I will go, no, I am going to go ahead and put another bead on. So let's go ahead and add another fire polish right here in the middle. And I'm just going to add it by itself right here. And then I'm just going to wrap around. And I may go around a couple times, just like that. Then I'm going to pick up one of these little apatite beads, if I can find the hole. Oh, that was easy. Okay. And a spacer. I'm going to let them fall. And, whoops. I'm just going to wrap up, and I'm just going to go, actually, I'm just going to go around, and then I might come back down through this wire right here. Okay. And so the main thing you're trying to do is secure your wire to the beads and the piece. So by going underneath a wire that I've already got on there, or through a bead that I've already put on, that's just securing everything, you know, making it a little bit more secure. Okay, so here these are. Now, I think, because I want this to kind of stay in place, I'm going to go back through it. Now, you have to be careful going through these apatite beads more than once with this wire, because I broke one a few minutes ago on that last earring. So let me see if this one even, he seems pretty loose on the wire, but I'm afraid, yeah, if I go back through him, it might crack him. So let me put on another bead. Let's see, let's do another of the apatite beads. Let me just throw another one on here. Okay, there we go. Let it fall down. See, I want them around to the front. And you want to keep your wire tight too. You want to pull it tight. If it seems like it's loose in spots, just tug it until it's tight again. I'm going to go back through this spacer bead with my wire now. And let's see if that will secure these little apatite beads down to where they're not floating so much. Flip that so you don't get the kink in there. Yeah, that's pretty good. Okay, Now I'm just going to go around. I am going to come down here toward the bottom. Let me look at my other one. My other one does have quite a few beads on it, so let me add another fire polish and probably another spacer. Okay, and let me pull it kind of tight. And I think I will go back through this fire polish that's already on here. Just going to take my wire back through there, pull it, just pull it tight like that. Okay, that's looking good. I'm going to wrap around a couple of times. Now, when you get to the bottom, it's a little bit difficult because your wrap wants to slide off the end. So you just have to kind of work with it here. I'm going to put an apatite bead on and a fire polish bead. Just like this. We're going to go up here. Now see, I don't want them floating to the back, so I've got to make them sit in the front. So I'm just going to come around with my wire. I might go around again, actually. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. And then I'm going to go down through here. Flip this so it's not going to kink. Okay. Just pull tight. Now, my whole thing is kind of, there we go. I want it in the front. It was kind of floating toward the side there. Okay. All right, let's add another spacer bead here. And then I have got to get this secured down. It's kind of loose. So I think I'm just going to go back up through this fire polish right here. Unkink my wire. That seems to be my biggest issue, is having my wire kind of kinked up there. Okay. Now, my whole concoction here is wanting to slide down. I didn't have this problem with the other one. So I'm going to go around and actually go back around this ram's horn at the top. And see, this, you can do pretty much whatever you want. I mean, it doesn't have to be neat. It can be very just kind of messy and fun. So I went around both of the ram's horns. I'm going to go back through this middle fire polish bead right here. Just like that. And I'm going to put a few more beads on, and then I think we're just going to finish it, because I think once I get some more beads here in the middle, that it will, yeah, and that tightened everything up. When I went through the ram, back up and around the ram's horn up there, that really tightened things back up. So I'm going to add a few beads in the middle right here. So I'm going to do a fire polish, an apatite bead. Oh, these are so tiny. Oh, good Lord, they are tiny. Okay. A spacer, and another of the little apatite beads. There it is. Okay, and they're just going to come down the middle here a little bit, and I'm going to go right through this fire polish bead right here, if I can get through him with the wire. I think I've already gone through him a couple times. Let me see if I can, yeah, I can. Well, yeah, I can get through him. So I'm just going to go right through that fire polish bead, and actually it's pushing right through the spacer, so I'll just go through it too. No big deal. If it wants to go through both of them, it's fine with me. Okay. And that gives me a little string down the middle. Okay. Now I'm just going to go back up from the back, and I'm going to wrap around the little ram's horn about 3 times. Like that, and I'm just going to cut these right off. Cut the wire right off. Let me make sure it's tight though. actually, let me go up. I went around the ram's horn a couple times, and I'm just going to put this behind a couple of pieces of this wire. There's a piece. I'm just going to go behind one piece just to kind of make sure that it's secure. Okay, there we go. And now I'm just going to cut it off right about there. And let me tuck in that little scraggle, because I don't want it to scratch anybody. Alright, so here is our other piece. Now, if you can see, they're not exact, and that is fine. I don't think that they need to be. I'm going to take my plier, and I'm just going to make a couple of little twists in the wire, like that. I think it just gives it a little bit of an artistic flair. I kind of like it. And if your beads are too far to the side or something, you can move them around. And if your wire seems loose, just take it and give it those little twists in a couple of spots, and that will tighten it a little bit. Okay, so there we go. I think I might do the little twist right here if I can get a hold of the wire. It's tiny and does not want to be gripped. There we go, got it a little bit. There we go. So here we have it. So now I'm just going to take my big jump rings, and I'm going to put one on each side. Now you can use smaller jump rings than these even. I'm just using these big ones because that's what I have, and they work well for this, but you can use smaller ones. I had some smaller ones that I was going to try to use, but they did not work well. They were too small. So, and then I'm going to take my little 6mm jump ring, okay, and I'm just going to catch these two like this with it, just like that. Okay, then I'm going to take my ear wire and make sure that you have it facing the right direction. You want your hook toward the back. And let me grab a hold of this. I'm just going to put it right on and close it right up. And there's our little earrings. So I think these are really cool. Just little wire wrapped pieces, and I love the colors. The box came with copper this month, and I love the copper, and I will be using it, but for this, the purposes of this, I wanted to use the silver. So there are our little earrings. I really like them. I think they're pretty cool. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm going to do a pendant as well using the same technique, the wire wrapping, so you can look forward to that if you would like to do the matching pendant. I will be back doing that here in a couple of days. So I will link Bargain Bead Box in the description box below if you're interested, and I will link my website as well. I have a bunch of stuff up there, some unique items for sale if you want to check that out. And I will see you in the next video. Bye.